Show 3 machines on chest. Well, I shouldn't say that. This is the best one though. This first one we're doing is the best. There's nothing better than this. After this, it's downhill, okay?
What's a good distance to stand away from the machine?
Wherever the distance is that your shoulder feels like it sits back in this position where it's retracted. So I'm obviously not here, so I can roll forward. I'm gonna be forced to be almost leaning out towards you guys. So my weight's right here, the balance of my weight's over my feet, so I can drive up through things. So I have to use my ribs and my rib cage and my bicep and hand to scoop myself up through. You're gonna get a lot more, seems counterintuitive, but a lot more upper pec doing things this way than you are doing things with height, right? The fibers of your chest also attach up in here, so if I don't lift my arm up and in, if I don't come up through stuff, even when you do that on air, if I lift my hand up and I squeeze across here and lift up, I feel my upper pec. My upper pec grabs here. Doesn't do shit here. I can think it does, but it's just more mid-pec firing here. If I come up and squeeze up, I'm having to lift my shoulder up and push up through my collarbone and drive up through here, right? Plus it'll help guys with poor flexibility. These guys are secretly filming us. They have my shirt on. It'll help guys with like poor shoulder mobility, because there's guys that all train, they know who they are, so I'm not making fun of them. I make fun of them while I train them. But they can't even get in this position. And if they do, they're like, and then it's always this, like they bend their knees and they're trying to go, it's like this need to like stay here and then have things like turtle arm, like alligator arm, right? So I'm just driving. Every rep that you do, you should relax back here, let your shoulders retract, let your scapula retract, and then get this motion going up through. There's no race, right? So I just want to squeeze up through. You can fuck with your head position. Some people feel better if they put their head up because they get too constricted in their neck and they're doing this all the time. But if you can keep your neck neutral and just feel that your arms move without your body. It's a massive problem with bodybuilders. We've talked about this before. But now that we have new videos, we can talk about it again. So if my arm is holding onto this cable, I'm not bound in this position. I can turn this way. I can even put it behind my back and be here. I can do anything I want with this cable, any position I want. Because my arm is moving independent of my body. I don't pick things up and go. I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like I let my arm go. And if you can't understand that on flies especially, it's like you're never gonna be able to let your arms move without your chest or without your neck, without your traps, so you're never gonna get this squeeze of your chest. It has to come from your hand and the movement of your arm. Chest is secondary. I'm not trying to go here and go like this with my chest. People are trying to flex their chest from the beginning. I just want to go and make my chest fire as I fire, right? Over here. See that leg press video I sent you with the overhead, the machine?
Oh, yeah.
The yellow one? That was the most fucking ridiculously useless machine. It's like, what did they say when they made that machine? They're like gonna fucking, how big and fucking, how big and intrusive can we make a fucking leg press machine? It's a fucking skyscraper. And if you guys have ever used one of those, I don't know if you have, it's like there's no, it helps with like hip, definitely helps with like hip depth and like feeling comfortable in the drop in your hip, because the weight's traveling like up and back, so you're relaxed and your legs are just moving on their own, but there's no tension. Like even at the top, it's just like, you push it and it goes back and then it like just wants to rock back. So at the end range, there's no tension. It's just like floating back. It's the weirdest fucking thing. I'm sure someone in the comments will say, it's for this and that and the other thing. It's like, yeah, well, show me one guy with great legs that's training on that thing or exclusively built his legs on that machine, and I'll be fucking shocked. But like, I'm gonna skip all these regular machines and I'm just gonna fucking hop on this tower over here. Fucking this skyscraper of a leg press. So this is another chest machine. It's probably the best one in here, easily. Like, I know I said that one, this one's the best though. This one's fucking amazing. So if you don't have this in your gym, just pretty much succumb to the fact that you're never gonna have a great chest unless you have this machine. So there's obviously different handles. I just switched this around. This is a wide grip handle. You can go as wide as you want on this. Not crazy, but want to be in tight, and I want to be able to set my scapula back and let my shoulders sit. So my shoulders never move. My shoulders are set. I break hand and elbow, and I keep my upper back tight on the pad. I rock through wide. When I go to push, I'm not pushing to nowhere. Going like this. I'm trying to almost rotate my hands in and squeeze. So when I drive toward the camera like this, if I'm this wide to start, I'm going like this with my hands slowly. I'm trying to get extension inward. I'm not trying to go outward. So the tighter I can keep my elbow to my body the whole time I train, the better it's going to be. Obviously, as we're going back, we're creating depth in our elbow, but the elbow bend is only accommodating how deep we're trying to get our shoulders. So my shoulders go that deep naturally, I drive off. My elbow is a shock absorber, I rock out of it. It's almost like I'm loading up a spring off my elbow and then jamming out through my hands, right?
How does the feeling change if you're grabbing the lower grip? That's wide, right? So how tight is the lower one?
Well, this is still narrow. It's just that these grips, these slanted grips, if they're obviously coming up this way like we've done before, it's just taking shoulder pressure out of stuff. So I'm starting in here and I can shove more. But I'm not getting that pull across my chest and into the depth of my shoulders. A lot of guys are pressing too wide to begin with and they're using their shoulders. So for those guys, you'd want them to use this inner handle, obviously inverted. So they're more confined to a tighter space to press. So they don't do this shit. So you see them just like rocking their shoulders. There's no chest involved at all. You want them to be able to get this depth, understand this depth, be able to push out of here the way they push, because you can't flare here. When I'm in tight like this, I can't flare my elbow and push. I have to keep pushing away and pushing this thing out. So if you understand that mechanic, now all we're doing is going like this and doing the same thing. I'm pushing out. And I'm doing the same thing of squeezing in, but now I'm understanding my pecs are being squeezed by my biceps driving together and my shoulders falling back. So it depends on what the person's problem is or what you're trying to work when you're doing chest, but so I'm saying like chest isn't about just coming in and like, oh, I move as much weight as I can and therefore my chest will grow. Like there's an aspect to that that's needed, but you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, what's wrong with my chest? Like, or what am I not liking about it that I want to change, right? Like, yeah, I have great like lower pec, but I got nothing up top, or vice versa. Like I got this huge upper chest and my lower pec looks like a toddler, right? So it's like you have to find these angles that work for you. Some people might even need to be as high as this handle. Like I'm not the tallest guy, this is for taller people. Some people might need to be on this taller one, even if they're my height, so that they can understand this like massive drop in their shoulders, so they can keep their shoulders way down and they can pull for huge width and then press out through. So the idea is like I'm trying to pull my shoulders back and let my hands take the weight so my hands can push. So my hands never go dead. You'll see people pressing their hands, they're like, oh, and that's, you see them doing these, because they don't have any power through their hand. It's not power through their body, it's just they're trying to trap on their chest, their shoulders, or whatever. If I understand that my chest pressure is here and my weight is back and my hands are here, I can keep my hands open and stiff the entire time. They don't get stressed, and I move through them. So I keep my head neutral, and I pull. So I'm pulling my shoulders behind my ears right now. I'm not moving my head. And then I'm rocking my body weight back, chest up, chin up, right? It's just a matter of learning, seeing what you're doing wrong, having someone you train with see what you're doing wrong or not doing so well, and then getting you to move in a different pattern. It's not fucking rocket science. Like, if you guys went to the basketball court and someone was like, you're shooting jump shots, but you never leave the ground. It's called a jump shot. You gotta jump and shoot it. Like, you're not Robert Horry fucking draining threes from half court with your feet planted, right? So it's like, yeah, you need to jump, get height, and shoot off the top of the elevation, right? So it's like, you would be like, okay. And then you come in the gym here and people are like, hey man, you need to do this and this. Like, doesn't matter, bro. I'm lifting a lot of weight. My chest is bound to grow. It's like, all right. You do that to the basketball where people are just swatting your fucking shot away. Yeah. It just amazes me that everybody thinks they have the answers. I think this guy's joking, but still fucking. He has to be joking. He's wearing sunglasses. You know someone's kidding if they're wearing sunglasses. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Now we are.
This is the safest and best way to lift with dumbbells. Dumbbells have two problems. One, you can't start them at power reps. They have to do this weird thing.
Yeah, there's a reason. Okay, this video is fucking, you'll put it up, right?
You can put that
Yeah. So this guy's created hooks that like start your dumbbell so you can start your dumbbell at the top of the range. I'm starting this at the top of the range here. I don't need to. I can start it here and I can set myself here and then I can start pressing. I'm rocking. But here I have leverage to be able to lean back and set my weight because I have leverage behind me. And I can stick out my hands through the leverage of my back where I can hold myself still and I can rock in, right? When you take a dumbbell off, you guys lay down, the last thing I want to do, this guy's like, oh, I built a device that's like hanging from a fucking ceiling. I don't know what it is. So these things hang in midair so the guy can lay down and unhook his dumbbells here and be here when he starts. But the only issue is with dumbbells, when you start your dumbbells here and they're already extended, I can't retract my scapula and I can't arch because I'm already here. So unless he went down like this, literally arched his body into a position and then reached up and grabbed the dumbbells and hooked them off, which you can't really, it's not gonna happen. Then he hooked them off and pulled them, that'd be good. But he's going like this, like taking them off here and then unhooking them and going up and down. And he's like, oh, normally when you lay back with these dumbbells, you have to do this weird thing where you flip them up and open them open. It's like, that's not weird, bro. That's how you start a dumbbell press. I mean, like, because he sees all these people, they flip them, then they go, and they get them up here and they lock them out, and then it's these like punching reps, right? Especially girls are notorious for that, like, because they're being taught by trainers that are horrible, but it's like you don't want to start a dumbbell at the top of the rep. Every other machine you can get away with it because you're horizontal, so I have pressure back. Here I have zero pressure. I have dumbbells that are fucking, could move all over the place. They don't pin me into the seat. And then I can't arch myself. Like I can't throw my feet once I get under here. It's fucking impossible because I need to bring these down a bit to be able to get my chest to come up and get myself in this spot. So I can't get to here without like massively readjusting myself. And then I'm driving up, right? So these little hacks and home gym stuff is like, if you can't flick the dumbbell up from sitting down and you can't get it up, it's too heavy. Just don't do that much weight. That's literally God telling you. That's like the universe being like, you're sitting here like, oh fuck, I don't know. And they're like, ah. And then the one guy's pushing one arm up and he's like, oh. And then they get it here and like, oh yeah, okay. It's like, that's like the universe is like, bro, you're gonna hurt yourself. Stop doing that.
You didn't know me to be the cyclist.
Yeah, well, look at that physique, right? Like, take a fucking zoom in on that physique. I'm not gonna get into the fucking dieting aspects of stuff. Like, my understanding and comprehension of diet and nutrition is more than good enough and serves me well and shit. But like these guys who are like, that's a natural guy, obviously. Like, no, like not like trying to fucking throw a shot at them. It's just like, you are obviously natural. You have no muscle mass. You have no development. Okay, we're gonna do another chest machine. It's right here. You have to go for it. This is the best chest machine in this gym. The natural dude who was talking about fucking, you don't need a caloric surplus to gain muscle. I'm sure there's some science somewhere that complements his point. But at the end of the day, like, do I think that people should be indulging themselves and getting like massive body fat levels and putting on weight for no reason? No. I think year-round bodybuilders should at least have the outline of abs and not have like stomach fat and massive amounts of like fucking love handle fat and all this shit. But like, all you really need to do as a bodybuilder, especially when you're on gear and you're training hard, is like add in some cardio or like train harder and like maybe watch your calories a little bit. Like, instead of having 7,000 calories, have 6,500, 6,000 maybe, and just like play with that instead of like, I eat everything I see just to get huge, right? Because I did that shit too. Like, when I was competing, I didn't monitor what I ate in the off season. I was just fucking eating. I would make sure that I got like my protein levels in, but like even that I wasn't measuring at the time. I was just like concerned about carbs and like fucking pump, and I was like, I'll eat fucking whatever I want, whenever I want, because eventually I'm gonna get to a point where I'm on a strict thing where I can't eat. I only have to eat once, so I'm gonna enjoy myself, right? But now that guys are taking this more seriously, more year round, to be honest with you, it's not the way to do it, this binging stuff, but like the guys that did do that back in the day, like say a Lee Priest or even a Jay Cutler, you notice drastic changes from year to year. Like, yeah, they got fucking fat, you know what I mean? They shouldn't have. They probably would agree right now that they shouldn't have done that, but like the extra weight and the extra muscle put on while eating and like feeding that drug and like training hard, there was some fucking massive muscle going on underneath that fluff, right? So when it came time to diet down, people were like, holy fuck, like this guy made a lot of fucking progress, right? And that's what people kind of like, they harken back to that time because they're like, these guys did that and it worked for them. So why wouldn't it work for me? It's like, don't do exactly what they did. Be a little smarter about it. Like eat tons of food, don't get me wrong, but like just keep it kind of clean, guys. Like you're gonna end up with me like with shitty cholesterol levels and fucking, I didn't do a blood test for fucking probably 20 years. I was like, I'll do it next year when I do it. I was like, when I come off, I'll do it, and I never came off. I was just on all the time. I thought off meant just lowering my dose for a bit. Like, I'm gonna do half of what I normally do. Just take it easy for a bit. So anyway, yeah, this is the best chest press that you can do anywhere in the world. Again, if you don't have it, you're missing out. You will not grow a chest. But you're gonna be this, it's the same position we were just in here. I'm here, but now I'm on an angled handle and I'm laying down. There's no difference in the positioning, except now that I'm laying down, my pressure's back. I'm starting here. When I drive up, I rock. In order to get my shoulder to rock down and back, I need to move up and roll underneath the weight. So I have to scoop up through so my arms stay tight and I drive up through things. So I should be able to stick this and extend. You'll know you're doing it right because when you move up the bench, I lift my ribcage and I drive, I should be able to stick here. I can keep one hand out if I want. I'm able to control like that, right? So the thing I see with a lot of people when they do this is they get alligator arms again. You tell them to move and push and they go, and everything becomes one thing. So if everything becomes one motion, then how are you supposed to extend your arm? Because if I was trying to push this wall with like by pushing it like this, I can't extend my arms anymore without falling away. So why wouldn't I just push it like this to begin with? Go towards it like this instead of going like, like push myself away. It's like I can't. I'm stuck here. This is where everything's locked down until I relax my hands, right? So it's like this whole, it's like I keep saying it over and over again in all these videos, and it's hard to imagine because you're using weight. So as soon as weight gets on you, it's not natural to be like, oh, I'm relaxed now. I'm so calm. Like, now that this 100 pounds is in each one of my hands. But ideally, like if you guys can't get comfortable and you can't get like relaxed under weight, literally do sets where you hold, do iso holds. So come under here and sit in this depth where you should be locked into your lats and everything and relax. If I can't do this, and I can't get this little 3-inch range of motion with no stress, and just be here and doing whatever, if I can't hold this weight here like that relaxed, you know you're going, and you're flexing across. I'm on my hands. I can pull myself forward if I want. I can arch myself up. I'm rolling under these hands. So I move and I push. My whole mission is to just lift and rock. So I'm trying to lift up my chest, slide out through with flat hands. So everything is dependent on my hands. Everything is being balanced on my hands. My negative reacts on my hand. My positive reacts on my hand. That's all it is. Best chest press though. I know we've covered a lot, but this is the best. This is the best one. Hold on. Throw a plate on it, make it look good. I don't want to fucking look like a pussy, you know? These are fake weights though, so don't worry. So the same thing here. If I roll under this, just like we did on that laying one, it's the same thing. If I want to get leverage on something, I roll under and I tuck. If you can't hold this position, I don't care if there's 4 plates on here. If I can't hold this position, my chest is up between my hands, and then rock out and through, drive up. All I'm doing is the same as I did on that lay down bench. I'm rocking up through the bench, so I'm using my feet and my chest and rocking up through. So elevating through my rib cage, underneath my hands. My hands get push me back and pin me here. So once I'm pinned into the back pad, I don't have to go anywhere unless I want to. So if I lock out here and I squeeze, I can relax when I want, let it settle into me again, relax, rock. When things start getting heavy, it becomes more of a shove. So I shove, I catch, shove and catch, shove and catch. So don't think that every rep has to be fought out to the the very length of the rep and like, wherever you feel resistance, just fall off of it.
So what's your take on like half reps? Because I know I see a lot of bodybuilders like they push till the very end, even if it's a couple half reps, then they fully.
The thing is, it depends where you want to kind of aim half reps to burn out. I do it in a sense to burn out a muscle that's like, it doesn't have full range left in it. Like the person just like me demonstrating this, how it's like, it's gotten too heavy for the person and they're like, oh, they can't get any more. It's like, well then let's help them to the top and let's hold here, get them set, and let's have them only break their elbow and control that halfway and squeeze. So at least now they're using the top range where they still have something left, because down here they're fucking done, right? So it's the idea of getting them in a position where they're still able to move the weight and like recruit muscle. But obviously it's not like we're gonna start with half reps. Yeah. Some people you might have to though, because their pressing or their whatever is just so fucking shit. You just have to get them used to moving with their hands. Like, if someone's never moved their hands before on a press, so it's the same idea. If I've never understood the base of power on my hand, and we start someone here, and I see someone, I'm like, oh, show me your press, and they go like this, and they're like, and then they go, and like, it's like, okay, well, you coming down here and getting out here properly is probably not gonna happen. So let's just get you used to balancing weight on your hand, all your weight's back on here. And then we tell them to think of breaking from their elbow. So the first thing that moves is their elbow, not my shoulder or my hand. My hand stays stiff, like in a stiff arm. My elbow breaks and I control that depth to halfway, and then I squeeze. So at least I get used to transferring weight through my hand and pushing on my hand. I catch on my hand, squeeze on my hand. Then eventually we can get them to relax more, push off through, right? So half reps are necessary maybe in teaching, and maybe in fatiguing someone at the end of a set or a workout, right? Because like we said, you can do half reps too, where I could tell someone like hold it at the bottom and just punch and recruit like muscle fibers deep and just let that total muscle burn out, right? So I think people are more bitching about half reps. It's like more like when you see a guy who maybe throws fucking like that what's his name? El Campion?
Yeah.
Like a fucking dickhead like him, like who was like putting every 45-pound plate on in the gym on the fucking leg press, and then taking it off and moving it like 3 inches. That's not even half reps.
Yeah.
That's no reps. That's like a fucking, you can't even classify that as movement. It's like his knee cracks like a centimeter and does this, like. So like people are bitching more about that. Like when you see someone doing half reps and everything, you're like, buddy, like you're just, because primarily if you're doing a half rep, I'm doing a half rep here and I'm inexperienced. So I start my thing here and I'm going like this. You see these kids that go like this.
Yeah.
And so they feel their chest right about there, and then the rest of the time is just this power getting out for the half reason. Because if they came down here, they'd be like, they can't get it. So they built up strength in a range that's not useful for them. It's useful for moving the weight, but it's not useful for like contracting muscle or getting muscle to like fire.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to break them out of that half rep scheme. But once you understand how to press, any range of motion you choose can be effective, because you understand like inertia and like the elasticity of the movement. So like I can make the elastic long, so I can understand the tensions here. I can pull this elastic back and I can relax into the full stretch of that elastic or pull, squeeze out again. Or I could stop the elastic pull right about here, squeeze out again. So I'm always super elastic through whatever range I am. So that's all that matters. I wouldn't recommend doing half reps all the time unless you have a problem feeling your chest, and you do half reps like the way I said, where it's like I'm holding on here, I'm letting elbow break, and I'm holding that weight on the palm, pushing through. So I'm getting used to pushing from here. You'll probably notice your chest is gonna fire like crazy. Yeah. But everyone will be like, bro, you're doing quarter reps. Like, yeah, but I actually feel my chest. Yeah. And next time I come in, I'm gonna try and go a little deeper. And then I'm gonna go start from the bottom and try that. And like, next thing you know, you're pressing well, right? So I'm saying it's not rocket science. It's just seeing what you're doing wrong or inefficiently and then changing it, doing the exact opposite of that. That's all weightlifting is. If you've been doing it one way and it's not working, do it the other way. That's your first immediate thought. There's a lot of shit that comes out recently. There's been guys bitching about their coaches and a bunch of people cutting and running from a coach that was with them for a long time, whether he he didn't know what he's doing, or he didn't know what he's doing. Obviously, at one point he did, or there's all these guys. There's an epidemic of people who train with certain people, and then they stop training with them, and they start training with another person. They're like, oh, this is what I needed, and like this and this and this. It's like, it's fine, and you should, as an athlete, progress and work with other people and constantly be trying to evolve and better yourself physique-wise or athletic-wise or whatever. There's no need to like stay somewhere where you don't feel like you're progressing. But this whole idea of like shitting on the people prior to them, to the person that's currently helping you, is like, you do understand that the working out, especially like when it comes to like bodybuilding and fitness and stuff, it's a cumulative effect. It's not a micro like thing where like, I was doing all this stuff before and I did this thing and now I'm like this. It's like, you didn't evolve from a cocoon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't just burst out of the cocoon and now you're like this great fucking athlete. It's like all that stuff added up and brought you to where you are, and then you got with this other person who's taken all the skills and stuff and all the hard work and all the whatever mindset you have. You already have that installed. They don't have to do that. It's already downloaded in you. Now they just have to make you think that they know better. So they're like, now when you do it this way, you do it this way. And you're like, well, I know how to do that. You know how to do that because the fuckface over here showed it to you and made you fucking learn how to do it properly, right? And so it's like, it's just funny to me, like these people, like, I don't know whether they're trying to promote the new trainer they have or the new worker they have. I'm talking more so when it comes to actually training people, not dieting people. Dieting people is a fucking joke to me. Like, it's just such a fucking joke to think that like, if someone telling you what to eat is gonna like have that much of an effect on you outside of the last 2 weeks of a show. And it's like, but like these guys I'm saying who bounce from trainer to trainer, half of these guys that are bouncing from trainer to trainer, and girls, they're not paying for that trainer. It's free. So it's like a scratch your back, scratch mine. I train you, we post about it, and like, so there's no money being exchanged. So there's no respect for what's being done. You're not paying your money to that person's not receiving something from you, you're not genuinely interested in what they have to say. You're just training with them now because it gives you exposure.
It's convenient, yeah.
Yeah, it's exposure. So, but then as soon as someone flips the script on them, it's like, hey, it's been really cool helping you out of my own desire and free will. Now I need to tell you, I'm gonna tell you, you have to pay. If we want to keep going, we have to like, this is a business relationship now. Like a few sessions here and there is like whatever, we help each other out, but like, so as soon as these people find this out, especially bodybuilders and fitness girls and bikini girls, as soon as they find this out, they think that's the route, they're like, oh, I'm out of here. Gotta go find the next free ride. And now the next free ride is the best trainer they've ever had. Oh, taking pictures of themselves in the mirror, like grunting hard, or like shots themselves, new workout from such and such. Oh, it's so hard. It's like, is it though? Because like, I've seen you train harder with other people and do way more work and like bust your ass. And now you're like, oh, now that I'm more focused on what I do, it's so much harder than what it was. Like, yeah, and the only reason why you're able to do that kind of work is because you did work prior. Like, you're not new to this. Like, this guy just literally sees like, oh, you trained with so-and-so and trained with this guy too, and like, oh, fuck, like, let's try this. It's something he didn't do. And they're like, oh, it works, because it feels different. Anything they perceive as hard, even just because maybe they've never done it before, they're like, automatically, this is better. It's like, it's not. If you had just continued on the path you're on, training how you trained, and like, especially if you're genetically gifted, like you're just genetically blessed. You're going to keep progressing. It's like, the program isn't it. This so-and-so guy isn't it. This rep scheme isn't it. This reps in reserve and all this bullshit isn't it. It's just consistency, man. Train every day and act like you want to be here. And like, sweat. Like, I didn't do anything today. I'm fucking sweating. At least I'm sweating. Like, these guys come in the gym, their outfit looks the same. They can leave in the same outfit, like I said before. And it's just about a fashion show and like putting the video down and looking this and this, like catching, I gotta record my workout for my coach so he can watch it. Your coach doesn't watch it. If I was your coach, I wouldn't watch it. I'd be like, are you paying me to watch that? You can send me a video and I'll watch your workout if you pay me. And then we'll talk about it after, but like, am I gonna watch it on my free time? Like, I'm so interested in how Gary did his squats today. Oh, like, no, I don't give a fuck. Like, so it's just so funny to see how fast people throw their previous coaches or people who are helping them under the bus and just walk away from them and give them no credit. Like, you don't have to fucking kiss their ass, but like, you know, I've trained with a lot of good coaches, and like, now I've decided to work with so-and-so, but like, I learned a lot from this person, that person. I'm doing this way still because I like it. And like, it's like, you have to give the respect where respect is due. And like, that's why there's no accountability and no like, loyalty in fucking bodybuilding and fitness. It's just like, it's a bunch of narcissistic fucks who are obsessed with themselves, as they should be, because they're the only person that matters. They're on a team, but like even their mindset is like that. Like, if it doesn't serve me and it's about me, the fucking great thing here, everything moves out of the way. This guy's shit, he told me shit, it's his fault that I did this. It's like, it could be you. You could be the problem, and most of the time you are. Do you know what do you guys think is the funniest, what's the thing you notice most about people you film with when they start filming a clip? What do they do the most? What's their intro always? What's the words they say and the action they do? Bodybuilder world. Think bodybuilder.
I think it's like the compliment. Hey guys.
Hey guys, okay. Okay guys. It's like, are you the fucking clip marker on the fucking scene? Like,
Hey guys, we're here at...
yeah, it's like, guys who? I actually have 3 guys in front of me right now, so I can say, hey guys. Everyone else is like, especially when you're filming on your own, they're like, hey guys, so today we're gonna fucking be here with Bob. And we're gonna fucking it's like this clapping, and like, it's such a nervous tick. It should like literally clip people. Like, you could probably clip 50, 60 different people that literally intro their videos. I guess like, they're like, here, okay guys, today, I noticed it on Ian's videos. That's why I thought it, like, it made me laugh, because I'm like, is Ian gonna keep doing it? He kept, okay guys. I love you, Ian, I'm just breaking your balls. I noticed it on his video, and then I noticed it on like a bunch of other people's. I was like, what the fuck is everyone doing this for? It's like they're hypnotizing people.